It's King Kong Walker. You know how we do, baby. You know how we do, baby. Baby, yo, Georgia, what? This video is brought to you by Canada Dry. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Like, guys, this flavor is tough. But, let me, I just wanna. This is the box score, yeah? I found this. I've been doing this for. This is my second year. And I feel like this. I like this view. You know what I mean? I like this view and then like go into the analytics of things, right? So this is the score sheet last week, yeah. And Rav, the way the things sold out is that the West we sailed east again, and our voyage. I say our voyage was successful. Our voyage was successful. Trade me went undefeated. I went I went undefeated too, right? In our voyage, yeah. No, my voyage has not ended yet. I still have the last conquest. Um, Rico done what Rico does. Consistency. It's all about consistency, brethren. It's all about consistency. Chris, injuries hit him again, and then Daniel. This one was tight. All of these matchups were actually tight, right? All of them were tight, and I'm gonna analyze this one first, right? So I'm gonna give props to David because this is why this matchup is so tricky. I I felt like Larry should have won, but he didn't win. But David should have technically won because he's 11-2. You know what I mean? So it's like David should have won, but I felt Larry should have won. But neither happened. They drew, right? And my guys, Jokic is you see what I'm trying to say? Like when you build your team around someone, that person decides the matchup for you. You know what I mean? Like with Larry, Jokic decides his match. Let me turn my fan off. With Larry, Jokic decides his matchups. With Chris, Sabonis decides these matchups in a way, but he has a huge factor. With me, I say Doncic decide my matchups. Doncic or Rudy Gobert, right? And um, with David, I'll say his new guy is Embiid. So Embiid decides his matchup. For me, the reason why I had Larry winning this is because whatever Embiid was going to do, Jokic was ready to outdo it, if that makes sense. Meaning that for other people, they don't have the star to star power to contain Jokic, right? But to contain Embiid, but Jokic does that and does it better than Embiid. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like he outdid him. I mean, Embiid scored 3 more points than him. Jokic had a triple double. He had 4 double doubles, right? Embiid had 7 blocks. Jokic had one. He had 7 steals though. Embiid had one, so they just flipped that. 17 assists, 242 assists, 53 rebounds to 35, and then 2 3 pointers to 10. So like that's what I'm saying. Like the reason why I had him to win because of Jokic. But the thing is like I felt like Larry wasn't successful because a pickup like this is horrible. You know what I mean? And it's like a pickup like that is just I just don't think it's good enough. Cause a pickup like that makes you lose a category like this. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's like a pickup like this. He actually did all right. He did better than what I felt he did, right? But it's an interesting matchup. Like this is awful for you to just not do anything defensively. That's just awful. But I feel like I don't know. David's team for me is like they are really good. Don't get me wrong. I don't underestimate his team. I don't violate his team at all. I feel like his team's really good on paper. But when I look at them, it's just like, okay, I've had Derek White. He's Jimmy Butler can't play a full week of basketball. The Anthony Melton is either he catches COVID or something's going on. Robert Covington plays for the Blazers. Josh Hart, he plays, but at the same time he still catches injuries. Embiid, I just feel like he's gonna get hurt, or they're gonna start resting him. It's one or the other, right? Because the workload is too much, right? And that's why I feel like 76ers have to make a trade. Because for them to be competitive, you have to rely on an all-star that is known for getting injured because of when he has to for high workloads. Like in the playoffs, Embiid is always injured. Why? Because in playoffs, it's like you get 2 days rest and you're playing at that like basically the highest intensity you can play at, which means that his body fails him when he's overworking itself. So that's why I feel like he's gonna crumble. Anthony Davis can never play a full week of basketball. Richard Holmes is rubbish. Bradley Beal is too inconsistent for my liking. Jason Tatum, he's Jason Tatum. He gets you the numbers. He gets you the numbers, and he stays healthy relatively, right? Josh Giddey, I love him. Tyrese, I love him, right? And Jared Jackson's been healthy this year, and he's like 14 blocks. He's a G. He's a G. But most of his best players have injury problems, and I feel like come playoffs, if not now, I feel like it's something that will decide matchups for David, if that makes sense, right? Then this one, I Am Fantasy versus Germany Prince. This one shocked me because I don't think LeBron James played that much this week. I don't think he played that much this week, and Glory's team is good. I played against his team last week, and I know his team is like really, really good, right? It's really, really good. And the thing is like, I don't think he needs to make trades. I don't think he needs to make trades, but at the same time, it's like, if you get a really good offer, why not take it? Because I just feel like if he just manages his team and picks up players and drop players, like, look, he made 3 acquisitions. Like, that's good. And he won the matchup. And it's like, I thought that he would have lost this category because he gave away Garrett Allen, but he's still getting 10. So it's like, these are very competitive numbers against most of the teams. Like, Daniel was what, 4 points away from, was it away from a draw? That's tough. That's what happened with him and Charlie. But like, yeah, like I feel like Glory's team is really good. Can he make some like 14 3 pointers? That's crazy. Can he make some adjustments? Of course, everyone can. Like his record's not perfect, but I feel like take what's given. You know what I mean? Like if someone wants to give you like goodies, take it. You know what I mean? But like with London is red, and this matchup was hard because Chris had bare injuries, and Charlie's team actually surprised me. If I'm being fair, I feel sorry because Shea Gilgeous Alexander is injured again, and he's out till like All Star break. But the thing for me is like this is why I was offered a trade for Shea, and I didn't accept it because I know he always gets injured. He always gets injured, always. And this is another thing. This is why guys like Giannis is important because they decide matchups too. So it's like, let's say it's Sunday and it's a tight matchup, and you know Giannis is playing. It kind of gives you that I got it because Giannis is playing type of thing. Kyle Kuzma, I don't know, like he surprised me, and he's doing good. He's doing relatively well. Relatively well. Clay Thompson's hitting that 10 3 pointers a week. He hit that, and that's why you pick him up, if I'm being fair. And the fact that he's already hitting it like this early in his return, this is it's good news for Charlie. Like it's some good news because Shea Gildress Alexander's gone down, right? And it's like Charlie's I'm working with like with sticks and bones, man. Because Kyrie's gonna be healthy this week. So he should take advantage of that. With Tim De Silva, I'm happy he got this 10-0. And wait, I want to go back to the box scores. Because I want to just, yeah, let me go back to this. So, when I was looking at Team De Silva, I'm just like, okay, he's playing against Rico. But then I was like, alright, let me compare the numbers. And I was like, yo, his team actually did relatively well this week. Like, really well this week. I mean, I feel like if he played me this week, it would have been really, really tight. Like, really tight. It would have been really tight. But that's why like weekly matchups and things are important, right? So I want to look at the standards. Yo, my energy is whew. Alright, let's look at the weekly standards. So I'm 12-3. I'm 12-3. Yeah. Whew. So I'm 12-3. Chris is 10-5. And Daniel's 7-8. So he's back below 500. Right? This is tough. Cornelius fell down to 5th seed in the East. This is crazy. Whew. Glory is now the 4th seed. Yeah, and I want to show you guys that like this is mad. This is mad. So this week, yeah, with the schedule this week, I have the opportunity to be unanimously the 1st seed in the entire conference, right? So we're gonna look at the playoff bracket. I feel the playoff bracket is more important than that. So now I'm actually number 1 seed. Thank you, ESPN. Thank you, right? This changes the whole trajectory of everything. I've been telling you, I don't want to be on the same. I don't care. It changes the whole trajectory of everything, right? And I feel like certain teams and certain matchups, right? Yo, Cornelius is no longer in playoffs. Whoo! Shalabalabala. That's crazy. That's crazy. But it changes the whole trajectory of everything. Because now, if Glory loses this week, Cornelius wins. Cornelius is in playoffs. Glory's not in playoffs. And that's what it's gonna be. Like, that's what it's gonna be. Like, the East are fighting for that last playoff spot. That's literally it. The East are fighting for that last playoff spot. Everyone in the West is going to the playoffs, right? So it's like, I'm confident that I can beat Glory's team. I'm confident. I feel like I beat his team without some of my core players. I beat his team without my summer. I haven't. My team hasn't actually been healthy since Christmas, right? Larry versus Charlie. This one is it's tough. On paper, Charlie's team is a lot better, but he has injuries, right? Larry's team has Jokic. Charlie has Giannis. The major difference between those two guys is that Jokic gets triple doubles and scores more threes and grabs more rebounds. That's 3 categories, right? And Giannis scores more. Like, he scores more. And wait, he gets more rebounds and assists, right? So Jokic actually wins the head-to-head battle of the stars for Larry. So that means that typically speaking, Larry should win the matchup, right? But Charlie has players like Klay Thompson, Anthony Edwards, Kyle Kuzma, and it's just like he has better people on paper to make the matchup even more competitive, even though Larry has the best player overall in the matchup, right? Larry has Chris Paul, he has Ingram, he has John Moran, he has Christian Wood, right? He has a really sick supporting cast too, right? I think it's not going to be like a landslide, a lopside. I feel like it's going to be a tight one. And I feel like it's going to come down to acquisitions, team management, how you're able to push and pull your assets, how you're able to check out other assets on the waiver wire, right? Team this year versus London is red. With all due respect, I just feel like this is a win for Chris because Team Silva doesn't have the weapon, the arsenal to beat London is red. Just doesn't have the arsenal to beat him. Like he doesn't. And the thing is like if Paul George is back, it's done. And it's like the biggest thing, and then Miles Turner would be back by then as well. And he's a big part of what Chris's team does. And it's just like, I feel like, personally, the team depth is just it's two different. It's on different levels. The team depth, and that's where Chris has the edge. The team depth in the matchup of who has the better player, Sabonis or James Harden. If I'm being honest, right? If I'm drafting, I'm picking Sabonis over James Harden. That's just my opinion. That's just for me, right? I don't think you can go too wrong between James Harden and Sabonis, right? Because James Harden shoots the threes. He does get more assists, and all of that. Whereas Sabonis gets more rebounds and I think more steals and more blocks, right? But I'm generally going for Sabonis. I just like Sabonis more, right? But James Harden is still really good. So between the stars, it's not like James Harden is massively better than Sabonis or Sabonis is massively better. It's like they're literally like eye to eye. It's basically you're just if you're gonna pick between the two of them, you're just picking which one you prefer better for your team. You're not picking because you, in my opinion, you're not picking because you think James Harden is significantly better than Sabonis. If you think that, then I don't know. This matchup for David, right? So I want to say something. I feel certain people are kryptonite for certain people, if that makes sense. I feel like Larry's team is kryptonite for David's team because um, Larry's team um, does excels in areas that David's team doesn't, right? I feel like my team is kryptonite for David's team as well, right? When my team is healthy, right? I feel like um, Chris's team is my kryptonite. That's what I feel like because he has um, players that do what my players do, but I feel like his players do it at a higher volume, if that makes sense. So, like, I feel like his players do it at a higher volume than what my players do it at. And I feel like in our last matchup, I don't count the second one, right? The last one that we had, the first one, you guys could see it. I feel like if Sabonis didn't have those bad games, I would have lost. But his players do what my players do. Like that's why the numbers were so high and so close and so competitive, right? Charlie's team, I feel like he Charlie's team is Glory's team's kryptonite, if that makes sense. And Daniel's team is like it's a toss up. It's very unpredictable, and that's why I feel like you don't want to play Daniel in the early stages in playoffs because he's the type of guy right before playoffs, like as soon as trade deadline, like a minute before, he just made the wildest trade ever, and that trade literally just blows you away because I just feel like the matchup between David's team and Daniel's team, I feel like it's not a good matchup for David. I don't think it's a good matchup for David because they just done a trade, right? They just done a trade. They just done DeAndre Ayton and Richard Holmes for Garrett Allen. So what Daniel's done there is that he gave away Allen, right? Then he got two centers. Daniel won the trade not because Garrett Allen isn't better than Richard Holmes. He won the trade because Richard Holmes and DeAndre Ayton are better than Jarrett Allen. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, Jarrett Allen was getting him 50 rebounds in a week, right? Okay, now Ayton is getting him 45 and Holmes is getting him 25, right? So now he's getting more rebounds in the week, if that makes sense. And also, David's team has an injury problem where Daniel's team plays every single game, if that makes sense. I feel like it's a hard one for for David. I don't think David wants this matchup. I don't want that matchup. That's why I want it to be up here. I don't want any of these matchups. I don't want them. That's why I want it to be up here, right? And it's like, um, if I let's take a look at Daniel's team as of right now. This laptop is so slow, brother. Yeah, we take a look at Daniel's team right now. This is what you guys are not bench, right? He has Julius Randle, right? I think he's trying to get rid of him, right? Nurkic, right? I feel like this team is really, really, really strong. Once these two come back, it's disgusting. Because Mark Brogdon is a 50, 40, 90 guy. Aiden is a double double guy, like a 10 and 10 guy, right? He has Nurkic, who is Middleton has been on a good run. Franz Wagner does what he does. Bridges, I love Bridges. Drew Holiday's defensive is a defensive point guard. Arneef Simmons has been playing out of his mind, right? And Gordon Hayward, right? And I feel like Davis' team on paper is better. But the thing that we need to understand is that it doesn't matter about the star players you have. It matters about who plays more games and whose team is more consistent in getting the numbers. And I feel like even like look at it right now. One, two, three, four people like know what I mean? Kyle Lowry's a big part of his team and he's always gonna be injured. Josh Hart is out again. Bradley Beal was out. There's too much inconsistencies, right? So in terms of rebounds, I think Daniel beats him in rebounds, right? And it's like I feel like the matchup is a toss up because it's like Daniel doesn't have anyone to cancel out Embiid, but at the same time, he has a team, if that makes sense. He has a team that stays consistent, plays every single game day, and is ready to push. I feel like it's gonna be tight regardless. I feel like it's gonna be tight. I do. I feel like a lot of these matchups are gonna be tight. Charlie and Larry is gonna be incredibly tight. I don't think this is gonna be tight. I feel like this is gonna be tight because I told you guys last time, like, yeah, the trade with Malik and Matthews' team, with Davis' team, they stole a lot of his depth, and I feel like that's why he didn't beat Larry because the depth that he once had that made his team so like powerful is no longer like fully there. And I felt, and usually David would beat Larry's team, but because that depth is like no longer like fully there, I feel like that's why he actually didn't win that matchup because that depth is not fully there, if that makes sense. Cornelius is not in playoffs right now, and I feel like he needs to make moves to get inside playoffs because I feel like his team is too good to not be in playoffs, if that makes sense. That's my opinion, right? And like with my team, my problem is like Draymond Green for me is one of my star players. He's like one of my core players and he's been out. Rudy Gobert is one of my core players. He's been out for a long time, right? Simmons is I don't know, right? And I just feel like, for example, in this week's matchups, let's go to this week. Yeah, the schedule for this week. My day. So the schedule for this week, yeah. How did I get the view from before? Oh, I went to League Home. Let me go back to League Home. Because I like that view from before. I don't like this view. Let me go to League Home. I feel like a fob when I'm doing this. Yeah, view full schedule. Alright, so this week I'm playing against David. I feel like I'm gonna lose. That's just me. I feel like I'm gonna lose. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna play for the draw. I don't think I can beat his team because, like, I have Rudy Gobert out, I have Draymond Green out, I have Mitchell out. I love Mitchell, even though I want to trade him. I actually love him because he gets me like 10 3 pointers a week. He gets me like 15 assists and he gets me like 10 15 rebounds. And he gets me like 60 plus points. And he'll get me like 5 7 steals in a week. So I actually really love Donovan Mitchell. But the problem is that a lot of my team is injured this week. And it's like the rebounds, Gobert grabs me like 50 to 65 in a week. And now I'm missing that, right? Draymond Green will usually grab me like 8 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals every game day. And now I don't have that, right? And then my double doubles numbers are down because Gobert's not playing. My points are down because I'm missing Mitchell, one of my highest scorers, and then Green don't score anything, but Gobert gets you like 20, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna lose. So what I'm doing, I'm being tactical. I'm playing for the draw. So it's like right now, That's what I'm trying to say. Like in certain matchups, right? So for example, let's go to Iron Fantasy and London Top Boys. If Daniel thinks he's gonna lose this matchup, right? Don't automatically give up on the weak. There's still ties. Like there's three categories here for a reason. So play to all the strengths. Like that's what I'm about to do. I don't think I can personally win this matchup, right? Even though he's shot, this is horrendous. I still feel like he can catch up on this. My personal opinion. This right here is tied, right? This free throw percentage, I'm not gonna win. The assist is only 16. That's still tight. The steals numbers is still tight. The blocks are tight. The double doubles are tight, and the points is 40. Right? I don't do good in points. So for someone like me, I don't do good in points. Right? I know that. So if someone like me, I'm like, okay, let me pick up a guy that's gonna grab me some 3 pointers, and could possibly grab me a couple of steals in the block. That's how you gotta think. Cause I'm trying to play for the draw, right? So I'm like, okay, let me pick up a guy for the 3 pointers, a block, and let's say a steal, and grab me a couple assists. But I want a guy to focus mainly on the threes. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at. That's how we gotta manage our teams, you know what I mean? Or let's say I need to catch up on assists. I'll pick up a guy that usually gets high volume of assists, you know what I mean? That's how I'm gonna try and play this matchup. I'm gonna try picking up guys that are gonna help me balance the score sheet so I can get a draw. Because I don't think I'm gonna win. My personal opinion. Charlie's clearly gonna win this matchup. If he loses, I will be surprised. Right? Germany Prince versus London Spread. LeBron's been out for a minute. This is very, very tight. Like this is one, this is one, this is three, this is four, this is one. This is very, very tight. But I do feel like Chris is gonna win. LeBron's not playing. And LeBron is a beast in fantasy. Like he's a beast. London Top Boys versus Am Fantasy. Cornelius' team on paper is better, but Daniel's team management is really, really good, right? So with this, it's going to Sunday. Daniel's not going to give up. It's going to Sunday. This matchup for me is the matchup of the week, right? 2 weeks ago, Team De Silva made a brilliant trade. Anthony Towns, all those guys, and they gave away Embiid. I feel like in this week, if you guys don't win this week, this matchup, you guys have to make some decisions, man. Because you have Vukovic, you have Anthony Towns, you have James Harden, right? So there's no reason why you shouldn't actually be winning. So if you're not winning, it means that those players are not blending well together, right? And that's all right. It just means that, oh, I like this pickup. I was gonna pick up this guy. I like this pickup. Shea Gilder Alexandra went down, so this guy's gonna, yeah, he's gonna start doing it up. I like this pickup. I was gonna pick him up. I and they're playing 4 times this week as well. That's another thing. So it's like I feel like if it's not you don't get the win this week, I feel like you guys gotta move some assets. But that's just my personal opinion, you know? That's just my personal opinion against other people's, right? But I just feel like after that long you have a guy like Vucevic, Kyle Anthony Towns, and James Harden and you can't get W's, like you know what I mean? Daniel don't have the same firepower, you know what I mean? But they do have a better record than no. They have this 7-8 and 7-7-1. They do have a better record than Daniel, right? But Cornelius wins this. Glory loses. Cornelius is back in that playoff spot. That's how it's going now. That's how it's going now. The West is basically safe. The West can basically go like 0.500 for the remaining time, and we will all still make playoffs. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's how it really is, right? But for this, for me, the power rankings. Yeah, I'm number one. I don't really care. I don't care about this right here. I don't care about this, right? This is what I care about right here, right here. So I think Cornelius has a better team than Glory's team. The problem is that Glory's team is now healthy. Cornelius' team wasn't healthy, and I feel like now he's active and he's making decisions. I feel like Cornelius can go on a run if he stays consistent with the acquisitions, and he doesn't really need to do too much because he has Westbrook. I feel like he should actually try and trade Westbrook, My personal opinion. He has Westbrook, he has Curry, he has Trae Young, he has Jonas, he has Clint Capella. He has the players. Now they're back, they're healthy. He's going on a run. And I'm happy that I played him now, right? Glory's team, him and Cornelius are fighting for that playoff position, right? It sucks that LeBron James stays injured, but I feel like if LeBron James is going to continuously be injured like that, why not try and trade him for greater assets? Like, why not try and do a 2-for-1 and get two really good players for LeBron? Why not do that to secure your playoff spot? Why not take a risk like that, right? Team the Silver, I feel like this week, I feel like this is the perfect position for him, you know what I mean? Because he showed us that he can beat the rest, but he hasn't beaten the rest of the best. You get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like if this week, if he can beat Larry, who's been undefeated in 5 weeks, I feel that's a massive statement. But I feel like if he doesn't beat Larry, I feel like he really needs to make changes. Like, it's a must that you make changes, right? And fantasy went down because it's like you can't lose to someone that is battling for playoffs. Like, even though at one point in Mean Glory's matchup it was tied on Sunday, I still got the W. And you can't. I believe that you can't. You can't draw. You can't lose to that. If you want to be like, that's why we stay here, because it's like we don't lose those type of matchups. You can't lose those type of matchups. If you want to be a title contender, you can't lose those matchups. You have to get those wins, because what has happened now is that Daniel had an opportunity to get another step on Larry, apply more pressure on Larry, right? But because he didn't win the matchup by 4 points, that's an acquisition, bro. That's a good acquisition and a bad acquisition. Because he didn't win the matchup by 4 points, now Larry took a step on him, because Larry didn't lose. You know what I mean? So now Larry took a step on him. And I feel like Larry deserves number 4. I feel like when you're playing against the top 3, the point of focus is not to lose. It's like real life. You're playing football and you're on the lower league team. The point of focus is not to actually lose. It's to get a point. And that's what Larry did. You know what I mean? Whether or not he wasn't supposed to win. He wasn't supposed to win. He was supposed to lose, right? But he got a point against David, and David's team is crazy. Everyone knows that. But Larry was not supposed to win, and he got a point. Charlie, he surprised us when he beat Chris. They both battling injuries, and it seems like every time someone from Chris's team gets healthy, someone else dies or falls or something like that. It's never like, you know what I mean? And I feel like with Charlie's team, it's like his team is sick on paper. My thing is like, it's like David's team. There's too much injury prone guys, right? So it's like, I feel like Charlie should drop Zion Williamson, because we haven't heard news from him. I feel like he should drop him because he can just move someone to the IR, and then he can pick up another extra acquisition, just so that his team, let's say if it's a close matchup, because he made an acquisition, he will have the better odds of winning a close matchup. I feel like he should drop Zion. I feel like he should try and trade away at least one of those injury prone players and get someone that isn't injury prone. That's my opinion, because I feel like for me, like I can't get certain guys because of their injuries. And it's like Charlie and David have a lot of those guys that people don't want because of injuries. You know what I mean? Literally. So it's like it's not that I don't love Embiid or I don't love Kevin Durant. Why I didn't draft them is because I don't want to deal with waking up and seeing out when I'm playing against the number 1 seed for the number 1 seed. Not trying to say I don't want that. You know what I mean? But Jokic is the player of the week, and it's just like he does miracles, bro. And I should have picked him first draft pick, but I didn't. And I love Doncic in his entirety, but Larry's the gaffer of the week because he really made it a matchup between him and David. Like he really did. I can't lie. He really made it a matchup. And I'm fantasy for the first time in like 5 weeks is in bottom 3, right? And David and Larry went toe to toe. They were both in the top three. Charlie had to get top three to beat Chris, which shows character to Chris's team, right? And it's like, again, it's like, yo, this is crazy. So he got 78 threes, but didn't win it, but not high points, right? But it's like, I want you guys to see how the numbers are slowly creeping back up. The numbers are slowly creeping back up. We hit 178 in assist, 193 in assist, 174. You know what I mean? The steals are getting back up to the 50s. You know what I mean? What does this mean? It means that fantasy is coming alive again, my guys. 13 double doubles, 14, 3 triple doubles, 4, 708 points, 752. It means that it's coming back alive, my guys. It means that players are coming off the IR list. You know what I mean? Players are coming off the IR list. And yeah, one category I wanna point out for this week, yeah, is points. See, and I know me, yeah, I don't like points. But I'm feeling like my philosophy is like you have to keep evolving, you have to keep changing, right? You have to. Like you have to, but the thing about that is that your morals and your beliefs and stuff have to be concrete. But it's like you can't use a Samsung, the first Samsung, yeah, and expect it to run as perfectly as the latest Samsung. You're a fool. You have to keep changing your phone whether you like it or not, right? And it's the same thing with points. It's like you may not like points, and you may believe that this is the vision for my team, but you can still fulfill the vision of your team and also change and fulfill other visions that you never expected. And I feel like for me personally, it's like even though I was in the bottom category, I feel like points is becoming a category that is really, really, really deciding matchups. This is the second week in a row where someone has lost a matchup because of like 4 points or 10 points. This is the second week in a row. And I feel like it's saying something to us. You know what I mean? I feel like it's saying something to us. I really do feel like it's saying something to us. I feel like for the blocks, yeah, if you're getting above 35, I feel like you won in blocks. I'm just saying that you won in blocks. There's very few people that have drafted for blocks in this fantasy. Very, very few. So I feel like for triple doubles, if you can even just get 2, you will win. For blocks, 35, you will win. In most cases, double doubles, 10, you will win. For assists, anything higher than 175, you're generally going to win your matchup. For rebounds, I still feel like you getting 350, no one touching you, my guys. And everyone thinking I'm crazy when I say that. I'm telling you guys, yeah, when my team is fully healthy, I'll be consistently getting 350, right? For 3 pointers, yeah, I feel like anything up higher than 90, you're winning. You're winning. But one last thing before I end the video, right? I want to do a new segment, right? And I want to do a new segment, and I feel like it's gonna be called. It's like trade. I'm gonna call it the trading block, where I'm gonna tell everyone whose players are available for trades, just to help people find trades, right? So for me, Donovan Mitchell's available for a trade, and Draymond Green's available for a trade. You know what I mean? That's for me, right? Let me go to other people. They haven't told me. No one's told me who's available, but I'm letting you guys know who is available. So for Larry's team, who's available? Chris Paul's available. Wendell Carter's available, definitely available, and Harrison Barnes is available, right? For Cornelius' team, no one is available. No one's available. I'm joking. For Cornelius' team, no one's playing today. Okay. For Cornelius' team, oh, Curry's out. That's tough. Westbrook is available. Um, Terry could be available. Um, Russell at the right price is available. Yeah. Um, I'm doing this to help people find trades easier. So if you need any of those players, right? and let's say two people, let's say you don't want a player and someone else has a player that's available, you guys can just make a trade easily. You know what I mean? For Matthew's team, I feel like at the right price, Vukovic is available, right? Um, Lonzo's injured. Fox is injured, right? Um, James Harden can be available if the deal is right. If the deal is right. You know what I mean? Cal Anthony Towns is available for Embiid, right? I'm just helping you man out. I'm helping you guys out. For Davis' team, I advise you to pick carefully because these guys have glass bones, bro. But for Davis' team, Embiid is untouchable. David would move Bradley Beal if it's a right good deal. Jason Tatum, for me, I feel like he won't trade him. Jimmy Butler, I feel like he will only trade Jimmy Butler if he's receiving like a Doncic or a Jokic. You know what I mean? Um, who else is here? Garrett Allen, he would only trade Garrett Allen for someone greater, if that makes sense. Josh Giddey, I don't think he's gonna trade him. Jaren Jackson, don't even try. And then Rico, let me respect Rico. Let me respect Rico. For Rico's team, I feel like everyone's available. Everyone in their right mind is available. Everyone is available. You just gotta make the right moves, make the right trades. Everyone is available. I don't think anyone on this team. I don't think anyone on this team is bigger than anyone. They're all humble. They're all humble. They're all humble, right? Daniel's team, Randall's is available. I might actually trade for Randall. I might have to trade for Randall because I might have to trade for. I might have to bring Randall back. Randall's nightmare month of January continued Friday as he took 9 shots in 37 minutes. I was briefly swallowed up by Giannis and the Bucks defense. Over his last 10 games, Randall is down 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists per game while committing 3.5 and shooting 38%. Jesus. Yeah. 25%. Wow. That is rubbish. Wow. Wow. Randall is definitely available. Randall is definitely available. If you want him, just give him something nice. Trust me. Um, how's Miles Bridges? I miss Miles Bridges, man. Dang, I miss my guy. I miss him. I miss him. I miss my guy. Um, yeah. Randall's available for Daniel's team. Most definitely. Most definitely. I feel like some people need Randall. For Chris's team, I feel like everyone's available. Chris is a very humble guy. I feel like everyone's available. Um, who was Herbert Jones? Look at this one, Jesus man. But yeah, Buddy Hield is available. Um, McCollum is available at the right price. Buddy Hield and McCollum at the right price, right? For guys to predict inside this thing, he's one of the hardest. He would trade Giannis for only a player like Jokic, right? Even though I feel like he should trade Giannis for Doncic, my personal opinion, because Doncic scores more. Trade Kyrie, right? I feel like he should trade Kyrie, and I feel like if Charlie's thinking what I'm thinking, he knows why he should trade Kyrie right now. Um, yeah, I don't think he will move much because when his team is healthy, he has the star power. But yeah, I feel like this week is very, very tight. I'm sorry about my energy. My energy's been weird, but yo, it's King Colin Walker. You know how we do, baby. Peace.